house. So.
Oh, that's why. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello. We're back, motherfuckers. Oh, by the way, we swear on this show. So if you
shit, we do.
Yeah,
Booger!
Wow. Okay, so yeah, I don't know that we okay, as far as comments, I can't tell. I guess I'd have to look on. Oh, there you go. There we go. Discordia's first. Hi, Discordia. We didn't share as much this week as we did last week.
Yeah, I forgot. I normally
Did they
have my phone open with Facebook.
Just in case we didn't want to put anybody, get their hopes up like last week. But last week the world was exploding with fires and no, we were on fire. Their side was on the other side.
We were on fire. You were on fire.
We were all on fire.
I was on fire.
The other side of the country was flooding. And
we were flooding over here. So, thank you very much.
Yeah, give us some of your water. We'll give you some of our fire. Well, no, we don't want to give you any fire.
Fire.
Welcome back to Heroes 101. And we've been on. Who is that? Hey, Dark Defender, how you doing? We have been
there he is
away for a couple. We've been on vacation. That's all I'm going to say. We've been on vacation, going to weddings, right? Impact, and going cross country again. I don't know, Bug. I think cross country is just our thing. That's what we do.
I guess.
Getting higher up in our belt levels. Someone. Yeah, there's that smile. Oh gosh, doing so many things, you guys. But we wanted to come back because we have to. This thing only happens once in a lifetime. It's our 10-year anniversary of being real life superheroes. The California Initiative's 10-year anniversary of being the California Initiative.
That's absurd.
Geez.
I don't know how that happened.
2011. Think about that. It's crazy. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to invite you guys out there. And if you know of someone who hasn't logged in that wanted to log in, tell them to log in, because you know what? We have prizes to give away tonight. We have copies of this that we will send you, or send you to a P.O. box if you don't want us to know your address, whatever. This is T. Krulos's Heroes in the Night book. This was the first book that we knew about as real life superheroes. We met T, and this was also the first book that we were in. Many of us were in there. Look at that. I don't know. Wait, there we go. That's kind of glary, and you can see that.
I can see it.
And it's funny because the people on this cover, none of them are still active. Isn't that funny?
Who's on the cover? I can't see.
So, okay, take a look. Can you guys see who that is?
So we got PJ Watchman.
Mm-hmm.
PJ would argue about his level of activity.
Who's this one over here?
That's Terrifica.
Terrifica. She's been out. She was out like right after this. She was done. And then that's.
But we got
is that Life? That's Life.
Oh, that's Zeta Man.
That's Zeta Man.
I was say that's Zeta. I can see that. I could see that from 2,000 miles away that is Zeta Man.
I think.
Oh, sorry.
I think the Watchman is still active, but just not.
The Watchman is still active.
I think.
We also so we're going to do that. We're going to have some questions out there. So if you're, I know there are people who wanted to last week share their experiences, because really we're asking for your highlights and lowlights tonight, because 10 years should be celebrated. Most people don't stay in their homes for 10 years or their jobs, much less this volunteer thing.
I'll tell you, I've been in neither a house or a job for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Very long time.
There you go. I rest my case. So to be in a volunteer capacity for 10 years where it's dangerous, it's gross as shit, because it literally is shit. And it's time consuming and very frustrating at times. And yet here we are, 10 years later, we're still doing this. So we are going to be giving away copies of those. We have other books to promote from you guys will probably know that if you follow the real life superhero community, we've got everybody's book out here tonight. And we just want to bring that up too, because in 10 years, we've seen many books pop up about the real life superhero community. But before that, so Impact, What have you been doing for the few months that we have not been here?
Let's see. The team's been patrolling as normal. Just trying to make our difference. Just trying to do good in our community.
There you go. Any vacations?
What?
Any vacations?
Yep, I recently came back from visiting my parents up in Syracuse, New York, and I know where Rock's going with this. So, on vacation, I just tested for my 5th degree black belt.
Yeah.
Which was a long time coming. My last test was about 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna find you one of those poppers that just go, and I literally couldn't find. I don't know who cleared the stores out, but I couldn't find any. I was gonna use them all night tonight.
Well, they're a fire hazard where you're at, so.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So forget it.
Does that gap between tests have more to do with just getting there and doing the testing, or does it have to do with the amount of stuff you had to know?
A little both.
Yeah.
So at the dojo that I'm a part of, where the level that I'm at, it's not about like knowing new katas or forms. It's about merit. But I also currently actively am teaching right now. Like more than I ever did back at home. I'm teaching at a dojo 3 to 4 times a week. So it was more about, honestly, I was supposed to test a year ago, but COVID kind of killed it.
Yeah.
So many things disrupted.
So many things. Yes.
But no, it was exciting for me because, this was the first time in a year and a half that I've been up home. And I told my instructor, he's like, yeah, let's test you. So it was very exciting. I almost dislocated my shoulder in the middle of it. I sprained a finger in the middle of it.
Oh.
Yeah. No. But so we during our sparring, we finished off with a 2-on-1 fight, and I started off with 2 hands, and at the end of it, I was just kind of flailing. Oh my gosh! I went to flailing with one arm to block, and then just like kind of having to turtle up and take punches because I landed one working arm at that point because my left arm didn't work.
Oh man, yeah, and then you have to go home with that, So it's like,
But it was good. It was the most, as I told Rock this earlier, it was the most scrutinized I've ever been in a test. Where, so like, if I was doing a kata and I was at this angle, but I was supposed to be at that angle, I had to redo it. Which is when you're at a high level, you're supposed to be. So, it was tough. It was rigorous. It hurt a lot, but it was worth it.
Oh no, absolutely.
So
that's wonderful. People have no idea what these tests consist of, and you and I are talking about how it seems like they wait until you're at your lowest, you're physically drained, mentally you're out, and then they dump more on you, the hardest stuff,
Yeah.
So
the form started 5 hours in.
Yeah. See, it's crazy, right?
Katas at hour 5. We were hoping to be done at hour 5. I started at hour 5, and then my family was able to watch that, and I was just like,
yes, it's your family was there.
I was dead.
Is it straight 5 hours, or is like a lot of people standing around and like, okay, now you go, or?
So, because of where I was at, I got a little bit more standing around time than normal. So, from black belt 1 to black belt 4, I had the same test of like anytime I had to do something for a time, it was 10 minutes long. So it was 10 minutes of jump roping 3 times. So it'd be rounds of 10 minutes of jump roping, 50 push-up, 50 sit up, 50 up downs 3 times. And for this test, because it was my 5th time through, my instructor was like, you only have to do it 5 minutes and 25 per. So it was a little easier than it had been in the past. So I did get some sit around time because of that, because I was testing with some teenagers who were going for my dojo has, after I left, they introduced blue green belts and brown black belts, which were like literally a belt that was half blue, half green, and half brown, half black.
Yeah.
And the idea was those are big transitions. So it's to make it a little easier. So we had these kids going for those belts. So they actually ended up doing a little bit more for me on those parts. So I did get a break.
Good.
Which was the first time it's ever happened. Normally I'm like the last one finishing everything because I'm killing myself, but this time I got to take a break. It was nice.
Yeah, but even with breaks, like
Yeah.
standing around for 5 hours without eating or anything is
Yeah.
I mean, the
horrendous.
kata was brutal because because you leave it all. If you do it right, you leave it on the field. You leave it on the floor. Like it's full speed, full power.
That's what they want to
treat
see.
it like a fight,
right?
And I did. Each kata was the instructor would count you out, and then you do it on your own count. And if there was a mistake after your own count, you do it again. So at minimum, I did it 12 to 13 times.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, I had a boast. I was like.
It's like water. Water's over there. And your family's there.
Oh,
so
no.
That's good. They will let you get.
During the 2-on-1 fight, it was with 2 black belts. I looked at them and said, I'm just going to let you guys both know you're the only thing standing between me and water right now.
So move your ass.
Yeah. So let's roll.
Get your ass to Mars.
I mean, that's when my shoulder dislocated, but I was willing to fight for that water.
But you look so happy at the end. I hate to say it, but there is nothing in the world like that high pro glow after a test. That is it. It's just like you don't care. You're just so happy.
Well, the last time I did it, I think my parents were there for it, but none of my siblings came.
Oh.
They're long tests.
Yeah.
So my parents would come for the last hour, but this time my sister and her husband and her son, who is 16 months old and my favorite person in the world, and then my other sister all came.
Awesome.
And so I had, my little baby nephew and both my sisters and my brother-in-law there. So it was very exciting. It
makes a difference. It really does. That if you don't have that family support, it's like, oh, I'm dragging. Because all you need to hear is them yelling your name. I think they made us do our katas, how many katas in under 3 minutes? You had to do it under 3 minutes to pass. So all your katas you had to do speed katas at the end. And then after that, when you're ready to die,
style.
Right, after you do them full style, and then after you're ready to die, then they put you in the group attack scenario where all your teammates. I've
never heard of speed katas before. That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
they have you.
First, you have to do hard style, right, and everything, and then under 3 minutes, everything, all the katas. So
that's nuts.
It's so.
And they keep tacking them on as you gain proficiency. They tack on more katas, so then
more katas.
They give you a little more time, but they still have an allotment.
Yeah.
So
congratulations!
Thank you.
We love it. It's
very happy about
that. You should be so proud.
In fact, from now on, everyone has to call me Renchi because that's my new title. So I will not go by
Renchi. Yeah.
I don't even go by that in my current dojo. We don't use those. We just go by you're either sensei or you're not. So
hands are only a suggestion, Brennan's saying. And Discordia saying you're a good bean, Impact. So that's some dedication. Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah. And speaking of dedication, that is seriously, I guess we're just crazy. Because Impact, you've already been doing this for how long? And by the way, you guys, we're inviting anybody who's listening 6 years. Freak already.
This is 6 years.
Jeez Louise.
2015 is when I started.
Wow, that's crazy. Anybody who's got a highlight, I feel kind of bad because I know that Dusk wanted to do it last week. But if you're on the phone at this time,
12 years
his ass can call in, if he wants to. But anybody can call in and share their highlights and their lowlights for the time.
I'm sure that they call, but we have Good Samaritans been doing it for 15 years, maybe.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that
07, whenever that was.
That is a wow.
07.
So what we've been up to since we've been gone, we went on that road trip. Swear to God, that's what we do now on our. I don't know, man. It might be the last one because really it took a lot out of us. It was a 3-week trip, and we're just kind of going. I'd rather fly. If it weren't for COVID, we would have flown. We got our second needle pickup in. We literally hadn't had one in because of COVID and everything else. And then we were out there with Crimson Fist last weekend and Shidarko, of course. Shidarko's moving. Shidarko is leaving San Francisco. Shidarko has bought 2 houses. One is going to be turned into an LGBT community center. I love Shidarko, one of my favorite people in the world. He's already the executive director of the National LGBT Hotline. So that job in itself is one that I don't know that I could handle. But Shidarko is moving to New Hampshire, back to because Shidarko's lived there, right? And so the house in the front is going to be the LGBT community center, and where youth can stay or anyone who LGBT who need to go somewhere. So right there, and then he's going to live in the back house. So it's like.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, but we're losing our San Francisco branch leader. That's okay. We used to
gaining
be
a New Hampshire.
We're gaining a New Hampshire, and we're gaining. We have a Texas. Do you guys? Anybody who follows Tanya Guerrero?
You got Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya's been your buddy.
I love Tanya.
Yeah,
Tanya's
we met. She's a bomb, right? Tanya,
she's a dynamo.
if you met Tanya, you would love her. You guys, if you haven't friended Tanya Guerrero, friend her and tell them if you're a cool person, tell her Rock sent you. Tanya leads before COVID and everything. She would lead. It's called Tanya's Army because there'd be 50, 60 people out doing these lupus walks to raise awareness and money for lupus. So everybody's got a Tanya's Army shirt. We got to do it with her a couple of times. It was really so. She's like that. She's pocket sized. She'll tell you she's pocket sized, but she's a badass.
She's a real Wolverine.
Real Wolverine.
Don't poke her the
right?
wrong way.
So she moved to Texas, and so she's holding it down out there because they need someone to hold that shit down.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Wait 2 seconds, you guys. I'm gonna open my window because I think the construction crew outside is finally done hammering and stuff. 2 seconds.
Oh God, they've been at it all day.
But continue.
Okay. So one thing that we got to do while we were on vacation, we did I want to show this to you, by the way. I don't know if it's probably backwards. Wait, where is it? There we go.
There you go.
Okay. See how it's so cool. I keep getting mail like for 10 years, Rock and Roll Initiative, right? To my house because our little initiative team, me, Vector, and Bug, got one of these. And it says Outbreak.
Oh, your zombie.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one of those.
Hey, get that out there. And I haven't opened it yet. I want to see what it's like. So we got a medal. Got a little zombie medal for doing 60 miles in a virtual run. So
You know what's cool? We didn't realize, and maybe you still don't realize, Rock, until after we finished, that you can still finish the race after being turned.
Oh, that's
because look, if you flip this upside down, look.
What does it say? Oh, it says turned.
Turned, so they could give it to you upside down. But you can finish the race as part of the zombie horde.
Oh, that's cool.
So all you would have to do is make sure that you had 2 months. Wait, how long do we have to do it? Oh, 30 days
30 days.
to do 60 miles, and you had to, with your Fitbit or your phone or whatever, and then you had to also log in workouts because when you encounter a zombie horde or zombie bears or zombie wolves, which we did, you have to have enough workout points to fight them or they'll turn you. So we finished it in 20 days. I'm so proud of us. Yeah, we're so
It was
happy.
pretty good.
So, yeah.
Lots of archery course walking, eh?
Yeah.
That really helps.
That's another thing. We went to New York, we visited family, they took us out to the woods. They didn't kill us, but they brought us out to the woods where
okay, you don't kill people in the woods in New York, all right?
It's so beautiful out there. You could leave them out there.
I grew up in the woods in New York.
I know you did. So you know those woods. You could dump a body, right? No one would know.
Yes.
I have.
Okay. So they took us out there, with a bow and an arrow, a couple bows and arrows, and we got hooked. And we came back at the end of July, and we've been going to the archery range or doing the course, which is like mini golf, but a giant redwood course with 28 targets. 6 days a week now for ever since we came back. So we are archery.
You guys
fools.
have encouraged me to like play with my slingshot in my backyard more.
Do it! Oh my god, a
Oh, no,
slingshot
I've
is
gotten pretty good
the
with it.
best. It's the best.
I have a wood board and I put cardboard in front of it and just that sound.
It's great, right? It is so great. We went to another because there's 3 or 4 major course as with ranges here. The range is fun. I love the range, but the course, I mean, it goes up and down hills. There are mountain lion warnings out there, so you're in nature. You're in their dining room, so you have to be aware. I carry a knife, and
No joke.
yeah, no joke. But the
Why do you
sound.
carry a knife? You have a bow.
Have a bow, but in case of
Well,
sometimes if you ever watch those horror movies, Close Encounters, if you can't carry a shotgun, you better have a knife. So yeah, I hope we never run. One time Bug and I thought we were kind of spooked because we saw tracks.
I know.
And
So
yeah.
this is the thing. So I went to environmental grad school, and this thing that my buddy used to tell me is, if you hear a mountain lion, they've been watching you for an hour.
Right. That's exactly what I've heard.
Because
and that's what,
apparently, mountain lions, when they jump in the air, they can use their tails to redirect themselves midair.
Oh, God.
They can double jump like a video game?
They can fly.
They scare the crap out of me. Those haunches, the muscles, you know what I mean? It's like
apparently they can redirect like the airflow with their tail and just
no
that's
thanks.
All we need is flying.
Yeah, that's why what we do is we bring noisemakers because we're not going to run. We have like jackets to open up and look bigger, and yeah, like I said, I don't want to hurt a mountain lion, but the moratorium out here in California, I know it's like it would kill me. The moratorium out here needs to be lifted. And I say that as an ex-hunter. I don't want to kill anything anymore, but they're dying of starvation. They're coming closer. They're coming into the neighborhoods because they're just overpopulated. And for them to die of starvation is a lot worse.
Do you guys have like deer hunting or whatever their prey is? Do you guys hunt their prey?
We have deer hunting. Yes, we do. In fact, deer hunting season just
started. Out east, there's no predator for deer, so you can hunt deer.
See.
But if you got mountain lions, you can't do that because they need to hunt the deer.
Thank you. And
as an environmental scientist, that's what I'm saying.
Right. So that's what I've been saying, that I think the moratorium needs to come off. People need to be allowed to hunt these mountain lions because, number one, you could take all the fees from, you have to have licenses to hunt, and those licenses are expensive. So take all those fees, and just put it back into the conservation and to keeping them from going extinct. I know it sounds contradictory, but you don't want them dying.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Duck hunters are the biggest wetland conservationists you'll ever meet.
Yes. Yeah. See, but NightBug, where'd you go? That was weird. Okay.
We don't have a soundboard anymore.
I know. So where did he go? That's really weird. You guys, if you want to call in with your top 10 or your whatever, your highlights and lowlights of being a real life superhero.
Start with yours, Rock. What
has been... Yeah, hang on a second. Where's that guy? It's funny because he's in the room across from the thing. I just want to
start with your highlight.
Okay. So 10 years. 10 years is a long time, right?
It is.
And I'm not going to tell, people have probably heard this story a million times of how I found out about this stuff. It was a surprise. I'm just going to make it short and say it was a surprise. NightBug brought me to a screening of a movie. It was called Superheroes. And you guys by now have all seen the movie Superheroes. Here's NightBug. There we go.
Hey, sorry about that.
Hey. What happened, loser?
I tried to log in. I realized I wasn't logged in properly. I was like an anonymous guest, and I couldn't comment on the comment thing here. I'm like, that's stupid. So I had to log out of one account to get the code again. And yeah, so now we're good. We're good.
All right. So I was just telling them that you brought me to a movie. It was superheroes. There were real life superheroes in the audience. And NightBug ends up getting up on stage at the end of the night with the other superheroes in his NightBug costume. I totally had no clue. And from that night on, I was like, you sneaky motherfucker. How did you do this? and how do I do it? Like literally, that was the first thing I asked him was, how did you keep this from me, and how do I do it? In fairness, he'd only been out on what, 2 patrols?
Like 2 patrols.
Yeah.
One without the NightBug mask, and one with the unfinished NightBug mask.
Yeah. So
I still have that hoodie.
Okay, so I would have to say that was one of my, I'll be honest, guys, it's a highlight and a low light, because if you think about it, my husband had been keeping a secret from me for almost 2 years, babe.
2 years.
2 years. And even though it had only been twice in 2 years that he ever went out with these people, he had been following community stuff and all this.
You know,
and
I figured if these guys are really a bunch of loonies and I don't want to hang out with them again, I can just pretend it never happened.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't blame you. Who'd want to tell their spouse, "Oh, I'm hanging out with these real lives"? So that would have to be one of them. Another one, I got to be honest, and I don't think he's watching this right now, because if he were, he would be commenting. The night that Z asked us to be the California Initiative was the very first time we got a phone call from him, because if we had never met him, never saw his face, nobody had seen Zero's face, right? Because he's such an ugly motherfucker. And I'm kidding. We love him.
He is.
he's a cutie.
He can turn ugly real fast.
But yeah, but when he first called us, Bug and I were all nervous for some reason. We're like, oh my God, Zero's the guy from the movies. Think about it. We only knew him from the movie.
Well, remember, he actually had us call him.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing he says when he picks up the phone is, Z's Meatpacking Company, you can't beat our meat.
First thing.
The first vocal I hear from him ever.
Yeah.
And nothing's really changed.
And then when he
Zero
asked,
surprise.
Right? And then when he asked us, when he was like, so, he told us the reasons why he thought of us for the third branch of the initiative. And when he asked us, we said
third. So it was
third,
New York?
because there was New York, Virginia, and then us.
You guys.
Yeah, and we told him we'll have to think about it. And even though we really wanted to, we're like, we have to think. We got to play cool. We got to think about it. And he said, what did he say to us?
I don't remember what he said, but he was like, good.
He was like, good. Because if you would have said yes right away, I'd have been kind of worried. So I would have wanted you to think about it. I'm like, all right, dude. Okay. But that was a highlight. Our first Hope event. Do you know? I don't know if I told you, Impact. Our first Hope event happened 2 weeks after I found out about the real.
I know that one.
Yeah, I think I told you. Yeah, that's all we got. 2 weeks.
2 weeks to throw together.
Hey, James Roberts, Anakin of Justice Alliance Initiative. 2 weeks to throw. And you know what Bug said when I said, oh, "There's a Project Hope." It was like the first real one. I said, "There's a Project Hope thing going on," because now I was surfing it, and Bug was like,
"Crazy! We can't do that.
We can't do it. It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's
we don't have any time.
I got.
But you did it. You did it though, right?
No, I did it a year later. When I first started doing this thing, I got like an invite. Like, Project Hope, I'm like, nope.
Too soon.
I'm in North Carolina. I'm not fucking California. Are you kidding me?
I know, right? Because that's a problem. See, so I'm glad
I didn't
they're
get the California one. I got invite to the first Chicago one. I was invited to the first Chicago one.
Wow.
And I said, I appreciate the invite. I don't think I can make it out here. I've been doing this for 2 weeks or whatever. Or maybe not 2 weeks, but like 6 weeks or whatever. Like, by that point, I'm like, I can't justify this. My family doesn't know that I do this. I can't make it out here.
Right. What are you going to tell them? And we have to remember that people are watching on YouTube who are going, what the hell? What's Project Hope? It's an outreach event. And people, it's the time you actually get to meet your peers. They're all dressed up. You all have gathered supplies for who knows how long. And now you're going to go walk about taking them in. Hopefully you're planned out and you're spreading these supplies out to the unhoused population around the city that they've chosen. So
a succinct way I like to say is Project Hope is a gathering of people who want to go do homeless outreach and they go out and help their community in whatever shit they choose. And it's a way for a bunch of people who like dress up in silly ass costumes to come together and help the community. So if you are in one of those lucky cities like San Francisco, San Diego, Chicago, you might see a bunch of superheroes show up in silly ass costumes.
Oh, hell yeah. And it makes people happy. They see you. I don't think anybody's seen us ever and gone, unless it's somebody, honestly, someone coming down off a real bad drug high. I don't think anybody's ever gone, what are you people doing? They're always like, what are you guys doing? Superheroes, yay! And then you get the thumbs up.
In some areas, you don't get a second glance at all.
Yeah, and then
that's even funnier. You're like, oh, okay, I thought it was, all right. Guess I'm not that cool after all.
So
I'll tell you, I'll give you a sad truth. None of us are that cool after all.
None of us. Yeah, forget it.
We all dress like superheroes. None of us are that cool. We're very nice, though.
One of the things that I absolutely loved, I have to say, was one of my highlights of this 10 whole freaking years. Warrior Dash. And Impact, you've done a Warrior Dash, so now there is just something. So anybody who has a chance to do one again, because we had them from 2012 to when did they stop? Do you guys remember?
2018, 2019.
Yeah, right before the pandemic. And I know she's waiting to do it again, but we all have to do it safely. So the Warrior Dash Mud Run is a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They raised almost $200,000, over 179,000 in those years that Impact just mentioned. And you are wearing a minimum superhero costume, right? I think I had a cape. I think I had a cape twice, which is really hard to do in all those things.
I want to do the mask,
but I had the cloth mask.
You had the cloth. Scorpion had a kilt, a full-on kilt that weighed. It was like 40 pounds, full of mud. And
it weighed like 3 people, dude. He's like, hold this. I'm like, I can't.
But at the end of it,
a great photo of Ira and I behind Spectre and his wife going.
It's
yeah,
the best. And
because I got to hang out with Ira and Sakura and Spectre and Misfit.
Misfit. Oh gosh. And Greg.
That was a good time. That was the first one that I did.
Best. It is so much fun. I remember we got to go to Tennessee and Knight came out by himself and we got to hang out with it. That was so much fun. It was ridiculous.
That dude's a trip.
Yeah, that's so fun. So yeah, we got to have that. Whenever anybody gives the go ahead, when you feel safe, if Misfit needs help, I think we should all help her out and get this sucker organized and do it again. Meeting Stan Lee with Hot Flash was there with us, and and we had paid for the tickets to go to the con here in San Francisco, in San Jose actually, and we paid the extra to meet Stan Lee because, come on, we knew how old this was. Only like 4 years ago. We knew how old the guy was getting, and we're like, if we don't do this now, we're never going to do this. And he was the nicest person in the world, and officially, he said hi to all you because I said. So we actually represent a group of Good Samaritans called Real Life Superheroes, and we do things for our community. I got to get this out real quick, and I go, and you know what? All of them wanted me to tell you hi and to give Uncle Stan a hug and everything. And he said, "Oh, that's wonderful. You tell them all I said hi." So officially, awesome. Stan Lee has told every Real Life Superhero hi. So
he was so very Stan Lee.
So nice.
We had to wait. Like they came out once. I remember there was a huge line of people waiting to see him, and they came out, and we were like, "What's going on? Where is he?" And someone had to come out and be like, "Hey, he just wanted you guys to know that he had to take a break, and I get some water, or he had to take a break of some sort." And then at one point, he comes out from behind the curtain, and what did he say? He's like, "Hey, everyone, let's do this thing.
Let's get this thing going.
You're
doing this, and stuff."
Everyone went nuts.
Yeah.
was
And
great.
Hot Flash had that. She had her iPhone watch because you're really not supposed to film, but she looked like she was looking at her watch, and she's filming him doing all that.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to stop there. I have more, but Impact, give us a few of your highlights or lowlights. Get us all thinking about the reality of this stuff, because it's not all meeting Stan Lee and having a grand old time. Sometimes
I'd say highlights are probably all like the trips I've got to do, like the Hope trips, where I've got to go meet up with people, do big handouts, which are always fun. But I'm purposely glossing over those. I'd say the lowlights, honestly, one of the biggest ones that I think about is this past year, where during the BLM marches, like a group of us went to go help out. Like, our team helped with security during BLM marches. Like, we were there because we were bright, we were vibrant, and we were fucking armored. So we could get attention from the people watching, which is important.
Yeah.
We were, if not all ethnically white, we're all passively white. Like, we had people who are Native American, or, I'm arguably being Jewish counts as not entirely white. Fuck that. I consider myself white, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where people go, oh, where I still get yelled at by Nazis. But so for the most part, but there were also times where we would go and literally be on the security wall during events where we had actual white supremacists and Proud Boys and Nazis yelling at us. And that was both a highlight and a low light, because the highlight was we stood there and went, fuck you.
Yep.
The low light is we got yelled at by a bunch of fucking Nazis, and that doesn't feel good, because you have these dudes yelling, oh, why don't you come talk to me? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're not trying to be mean to you. But the highlight is, we stood there.
Yeah.
And we're all proud of that. Like, I know my team. I know the team is proud of that.
You should be. Seriously, you stood your ground. You didn't have to even be out there. You know what I mean?
Like, it sucked. It sucked getting yelled at. And, like, afterwards, we called, like, one of our teammates who wasn't there. We're like, yo, we're going to be here. Come pick us up. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to come get you guys. Because we're like, oh, we might get jumped on the walk back to our cars. Because that was a concern.
Oh, yeah. No, it absolutely is.
It was worth it because we got to be in the wall.
That was like with Occupy. Same thing, right? It's you're taking a chance. They don't know which side you're on, really. I mean, they?
Oh no, they knew which side we were on. They
they did. Yeah,
they could see we were standing on that side. We were on the BLM side.
Yeah,
the cops were between us and the Nazis. The Nazis knew you're on that side.
Yeah,
and like even ahead of time, we were like Goody and I were walking, and they she yelled something out to us, and then later they saw us in the wall. They're like, "Oh, we know you guys." We're like, "No, you fucking don't."
No.
Or they're like,
"Yeah,
hey, I remember you guys. Yeah, we're not friends. This isn't a friend thing."
No, not at all. We can't stand you.
We're not friends. Yep. So
that's always a scary thing. Standing up.
Yeah, it was. It was not comfortable.
No.
Yeah, we did that Pride the one year too, right? That was
yeah.
I don't know if they were Westboro, but they were certainly loud and anti everything going on at Pride.
Anti everything, yeah.
Everything. So we kind of blocked them, stood between them and everyone else, and
ourselves blocked them with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pretend it's fun. It's not. It feels shitty.
It does. It does. It's
all
so fun. And you get nervous.
It didn't feel good. If people are like, oh, I'm glad I stood between bigotry and other people. And it's like, no, it felt shitty no matter what. Like, you had people yelling at you angrily.
And you feel I'm not going to lie. There's an air of concern, fear, because, if they're going to throw shit at you or even pull out any type of weapon, they could, because you're the target now. You just made yourself the target. So
that's why I put a shield on my back when I go to these things. People are like, oh, it's a pizza tray. I'm like, yes, it is solid. It's a solid steel pizza tray. Yeah. You can punch it and it'll still stay in shape because I can turtle behind it.
Yeah.
I can cover up.
No, seriously. I wish.
Like, remember, folks, just because something looks silly does not mean it's not a good
effective. It doesn't mean it's not effective. You know what I mean? So, it's, you don't want to see people hurt. Like,
of course not.
Who do we know that got? Oh yeah, the Ray. Was it the Ray?
The Ray at Occupy.
At Occupy, yeah. So
told him not to go.
Told him not to go.
He wanted to see some action.
Told him not to. It was the wrong night to go, and told him not to piss off the police. And he did.
That's why we talk about building shields. Like you and I have talked about the shields that I've built. Yeah. That's why I build them the way I build them, specifically so no one gets hurt.
Exactly.
Which, if we ever do what was it? If we ever do a Patreon, I'll do a full on step by step.
Yes. Oh my God, we keep talking about that. We need to, now that we're back, let's get back.
But I have to build one now, so.
Haha. Yeah, and you know what? The knowledge. Haha.
So I have to get on that picture to build one. Is the real thing.
So speaking of that, one of the lowlights, because you're reminding me of how many times I went, we don't need this crap. We don't. Why are we doing this stupid real life hero stuff? We're parents. We could get killed. We could get hurt. We have children. Why are we doing this? And some of the lowlights were like when T. Krulos went out with Phoenix Jones. And Phoenix yells, what did he yell at him? Protect yourself. And just runs off and leaves T. Heroic, real heroic. And when Bee Sting brought a shotgun out on patrol.
I mean, none of us were there for these things, unfortunately. I mean, yes, I would argue they're lowlights. But they're not our lowlights.
No, they're not our lowlights.
They're lowlights that we've known about.
Yeah, that's true.
So we should probably focus on our own lowlights, not mythological lowlights.
Right. mythological. For those damn unicorns. One of my absolute lowlights was, and this was before you and I met, Impact. We went on a Project Hope. It was a San Francisco Project Hope outreach early on, and there was this little family in San Francisco, and there's just the juxtaposition of opulence right here with the opera, and everyone literally dressed in their absolute gorgeous finery. And right here, the other half of the block is complete homelessness, tents, and this little family that was living in a doorway. And when I say family, I think that was the first time I ever cried, because I was trying to get a tough skin, and this little boy didn't fucking have shoes. And they were living in the doorway, and so we went and we bought him shoes, like a couple pairs. There was nothing open on a Sunday morning except Walgreens. They don't have the best shoes, but it was something. And so we wanted to come back, and then got him some more. But the thing is, that's when we fight that Band-Aid. That was a low light for me, because it's when we talk about you're only putting a Band-Aid on a huge gaping wound. And I thought to myself, that's the Band-Aid right there. That's me not being able to do more, other than vote, other than try to volunteer at soup kitchens and such. But we can't take them home to our houses. I wish we could. I wish we had a Bruce Wayne, but we don't. And when I realized that's as far as I could get, that's as much as I could do, that was a huge low light for me. And I thought that, and it was the same thing with LA. What's it called? Where did we go?
Oh, Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Oh man, that just feels like there is nothing in the world that anyone could do when you're in the middle of that. It felt like the zombie apocalypse, because I remember whose truck was that? Someone had an open truck.
I think wasn't Greg's, but it might have been Greg's actually. But we had hundreds of burritos that we had made that day, and they went in. You could have started a timer, set it for 10 minutes, and the burritos would have been gone.
Yeah.
And yet they were swarming like the zombie apocalypse, like Bug said.
But not in a happy way. At the end of that, we had to. We were like, we gotta go. Like, tap the truck. We're out. It was weird. It was.
It's a low light because you really feel helpless, like you're only a drop in a bucket, you know. And why did you just spend those hours putting all those packs together? 10 minutes. But then a highlight to that, you have to think about that, and maybe that's the one act of kindness. And I hope that it turned somebody around and made them realize you're cared about, dude. Even if I don't know who you are, you're cared about. You know, somebody wanted to do this for you. I'm hoping that's what they take away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, so hey, I know highlights. This was when we opened our superhero dessert shop. And we actually, in 2019, right before the pandemic slowed everything to a crawl, you know, it's been okay. Business has still been good. It was better before the pandemic when everything was wide open. And we're hoping we'll get back there. But at the same time, I kind of like being on vacation. So, but it was a highlight because we actually found a way to fund our outreach events by opening up a dessert shop. And
that's awesome.
That was so fun. So those are my 10. Those are it. So
good.
I think I got everything on there.
Yeah.
What about you, Bud?
We got a lot of overlap. You mentioned the first project, Hope, the first time we talked to Z. What did I get that you didn't get? First time we interviewed at Smoke at the time.
Oh,
Clockwork.
your very first teammate, right?
Yeah,
Impact.
first
when you
official
interviewed
teammate.
Your first teammate, didn't you feel like, dude, this is awesome. We're going to have a team now. This is fantastic. Somebody's as excited as we are. Yeah, that was a neat moment.
But and Clockwork was awesome. We had this whole
he's going to bust me out.
Huh? Oh yeah. Eventually, but we had a whole the NYI at the time had a whole list of things to ask people in person to gauge their, not the answer, but how they answer.
Critical thinking.
And you know, we did most of those, and we were gonna, at the end of the whole thing, we really liked the guy because he was just, you could tell, you know, Rock's got a good feeling about people, and I had a good feeling about him too, and we're like, yeah, this is going to be the guy, but we're going to leave him hanging on for a minute. You know, we're not going to tell him now. We're going to tell him later. We're going to give him a day or so, maybe 2. And then she just, you know, extended her hand across the table, and she's like, you know what? We like you. You're in. She pulled a mystery man on him.
You know,
you're in, guys. I'm sitting there like Mr. Furious. Oh, come on.
He was totally the guy. He's 6'7". He's got the kindest heart in the world.
He's a 6'7" parkour guy.
He's also an ex-skinhead. So Clockwork went through that whole white supremacy thing. And since he changed, that's why he wanted to get back into he wanted to get into doing something good. And he came out as bi. And, you know, since then, and all this other wonderful stuff, he turned it around. And yeah, I was awful. I was like, "You're in. Nice to you. Welcome to the team."
It wasn't the worst thing we could have done at that interview.
No,
but
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't wrong. Good guy. 10 years later,
good guy.
And he's still teaching parkour. He's still out there if we need him. He's going to show us the tenderloin to go needle picking up over there, which is a really deadly area. But he's going to show us the ropes over there. Anyway.
So that was a big highlight. But the first time we got to train with him and the other new teammates in our dojo was awesome because it was kind of like the two worlds colliding
Yeah,
a little
it was
bit.
so cool.
Everyone brought their
Nice.
outfits, and some of them had training, and some of them didn't. So they were getting used to a new style, and we were trying to have our seafood go over some
Basics.
like basic things that they could
Basics.
that would help out, and so that was a lot of fun to do that in
I
a
have
group
to
environment.
say that this was the back in the time impact. No one showed their faces. So when I put up a picture of us all working out together, I had to fuzz like totally.
Yeah,
Back in the day, no one wanted to show who they were.
all those pictures
I
are
mean,
so
when my
froze
team
out.
does it, I still fuzz my face. The rest of them are
You-
like, "Who's me?" I'm like, "Nope,
Like, nah.
I'm too beautiful."
Oh no, not everyone knows that I'm millionaire Bruce Wayne. Like,
Right.
yeah, that was good time. The other the other highlight, you mentioned Occupy, but Occupy Oakland working security with Eon that one particular night
Oh my
was just nothing went down. I mean, kind of thankfully, we were fully
Not
prepared
that
for
That's
something
night.
to
what
go
with
down.
Eon.
Yeah, we were geared up and we were ready because some things had gone down
And
prior
somebody
to our
got
arrival there.
killed. Yeah.
Someone got killed the night we weren't on the schedule to work.
Yeah.
But it was just great being out there and doing something. But that particular night with him was funny because we at one point it was super early in the morning. We were just like, well, I don't know. I guess we should call it.
Yeah, it was like
And
2 a.m.
maybe
3
2
or
a.m.
something.
Yeah, and Ian's like, yeah, unless you want to start handing out squibs, and we just
Because
lost our shit.
you
I'm
have
imagining imagining the scene on the news, just like all these people like, oh no, who's shooting them? And it's just
yeah.
Fucking Eon, man.
I know, coming from him.
He's such a, exactly. And did you know that Eon is a stand-up comedian too? That he
I
used
did.
to do that? Yeah. The guy, so he'll
Yeah,
just throw
we hung
stuff
out in
there.
Mississippi together. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's right. Duh. When we first met you out there, he was part of your team. That was so cool. And Blue.
I mean, it's
Blue
funny.
Falcon.
He wasn't really a part of our team. That was like the second time we hung out.
Oh, okay.
Like,
You guys
I'm
were
like,
so
hey,
cool.
dude, we're gonna do a team thing with Rock and Bug. You want to come? He's like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like we had all these patrols. He never showed up, and it's nothing against him. I love Eon. He's one of my favorite people.
But you hate when they don't show.
They're
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, we're doing a team patrol. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, Rock and Bug coming. I was like, oh, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he and I hung out separately. Like he and I got dinner together a couple times. Like we had our own thing going on, but he did not come out for the team stuff.
See?
Well, he's a busy guy. He's always trying to get something.
No,
started up.
he's great, and I love him very much. He's one of my favorite people. Like I have nothing but good things to say about him.
He's very. If you want somebody who,
but that son of a bitch didn't show up. No,
right to the patrol. So we're gonna hold that. He's very. I love his practicality. Like everybody attaches emotion to certain answers to a question or to a certain solution, and he'll just very robotically go, but what about this? He's kind of Hermione Granger that way, where no emotion. Let's just be real.
He'll do it in like a weirdly robotic way. But like,
right?
Hey man, I punched your mother out, but did she deserve it?
Right? Exactly.
You know what he is? If he's a D&D alignment, to get nerdy for a second, if he's a D&D alignment, he's as close to true neutral as you can get.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Without having like no opinion. Like he leans towards neutral good.
Okay, nerd.
That's very accurate. He's the closest you get to true neutral as you can get.
Yeah, without being a druid.
Totally. I forgot one.
Oh.
The People magazine thing. And I bring that up because when you got a news crew following you and they're in your house and you're like, okay, we got the guy was married and we still love him, James Marshall. He was married to Isabella Rossellini's daughter for the longest time. So, and then he got that People magazine gig and now he's doing other gigs for other, but having him in your house and having him ask you questions about this whole thing, he's so cute too and so sweet. And I remember at one point he couldn't stop laughing. We had to do a take in our dining room, And what was it like, Bug? No lie, 10 minutes. We'd sit there. It'd be like one of those outtakes where you're like, okay, ready? Rolling sound. And we're sitting here. And then he'd make the same fucking mistake that he's been made. And he's like, and then we'd just die. Everyone just would die laughing. And
Just had the giggles, man.
The giggles, man. I think at the end of that, when you see that scene, you can see like my eyes are kind of watery. It's because I was crying, laughing. But that was really neat. It was neat to know that they came out and did all that. It was very nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking to have them follow you around for 3 days. And they had me go on my motorcycle. They followed me. I had to do stunt woman shit. I'm not kidding. They go, can you do this? Can you drive between those two? And I'm like, sure. Because you know me, I'm going, yeah, I can do that. I'm thinking to myself, if I die, at least it'll be on film.
I could do this. I'm rock and roll, bitch.
Right.
You should have said it too. Rock and
Right.
roll, bitch.
But that was fun.
Good times.
That was a lot of fun. And
yeah.
So, my kids, they have something, they have a little bit of legacy for,
Right?
Yeah.
So I had something on that's not on my list that I was remembering. I was trying to find a picture of it in our timeline to get it straight in my head. The first time we patrolled with the XJL, that wasn't Project Hope, was it?
No, oh my God, that night is so special because that's the night. This was after.
It was after Hope.
It was after Hope, and they didn't have a patrol after the thing that very first year because they didn't have it. Just wasn't there that first year because we all went to the Hard Rock that night.
Right.
Well, and that's when we met Karen Page because they were celebrating True Blood and the Superheroes movie at the Hard Rock all at once. So they had this banquet thing and they invited us. And so I'm standing next to her in this picture. She's like,
she is
10
so
feet
tall.
She's so sweet.
You can't tell.
Anyway, then we went back. Bug and I went back a month later to San Diego because we loved these guys. We fell in love. We fell in love with Urban, with Vidge, and Roroni went out that night. So that's a low light. I don't want to cry, but that was a low light. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible low light. But we remember him being so kind and just quiet and just wonderful, in his costume. He was focused. And that's the night we also met Grimm.
I was going to say, we met Grimm that night. Yeah. That's how we knew he was, there was something extra there. Because people we saw, what was it? We saw a car that had been broken into and it looked really recent and everyone just kind of went and converged on the car. And me and you and Grimm were like the only ones standing back, like keeping an eye on things because there were still people walking around. And
then later, the same thing happened when there was almost a riot going on with these two groups of guys who were drunk in San Diego, and they wanted to fight, and everybody, wanted to show off to their peers, and that's the problem patrolling with new people. You want to show off your stuff to your peers. Show me that you can de-escalate. Don't show me that you're crazy and you walk right. There's a video of RLSH walking straight like he's transfixed into where the gunfire is going.
Yeah.
And
we have a few videos of that RLSH walking right into things.
Show me you got de-escalation. Hey. but Grimm hung back with us with his back to the wall to make sure that no one came in from the other sides because these streets were converged right here. And that wasn't our territory. You know what I mean? So good guy.
Grimm is the smartest dude you'll ever meet with this stuff.
Dude, I love him. Love that guy.
Yep.
You'll never meet someone who knows more what they're doing than Grimm.
No. Dude is so right. That's a highlight. I don't know if you know this. Did I tell you, Impact? We went to Grimm's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get to do that, but I grabbed coffee with Grimm like a year ago. And
you did. See,
we just sat there drinking coffee together on a San Diego street.
Oh. See, just chilling and talking.
And then Night joined us. So it was Grim Knight and I drinking coffee together on the street. It was awesome.
Just chilling. Oh,
Yeah.
Grim was so awesome.
We had a great time. And now I have a magnet of Grim's business card on my fridge. So
do you really?
I
Sweet.
do.
All right. Text that guy and say, hey, where's our magnet? That's it.
You text him. You have his number.
No. I'm talking to Bug. Text him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he hasn't texted me. Well, he usually will text me randomly with something. I'm just like, oh, hey,
Yeah, no.
what's going on?
He'll be like, hey, man, I was thinking about you. I'm like, I was thinking about you, too. You're the best.
He's the reason I give a fuck.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He sent me a fuck.
Oh, wow.
He sent me a
text
coin
like,
that
hey, man,
says,
how you doing? I'm good. I'm just thinking how great you are today.
That's awesome. You know what? I wish...
Those are Grim and my conversations are always very complimentary to each other.
I just realized that I really wish I had known you in 2014.
I was not doing this in 2014.
You weren't doing it yet, right? Yeah.
I was not. I was
and
I was a grad student still. I mean, I was a grad student when I started, but I was just a grad student in 20. I had an inkling of the idea of real-life superheroes. Like I had heard about them beforehand. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, but I was not doing it.
Yeah, not yet. Well, you know
20,
why?
2015. That I pulled the trigger.
The reason I wish I had known you in 2014 was because, speaking of Grim, what happened in 2014, Bug?
I don't know, something.
Some little.
Oh! I beat you at that lightsaber fight.
I let you
in front of everyone. At a wedding.
We had an actual wedding after being together how many years and never having had a wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your wedding. Okay.
That was our wedding, and you and Grim was a nerd and came in Star Wars. Can you imagine if we had known you? Because it was a Star Wars wedding, right?
Yeah, I would have been dressed as a Jedi.
You would have been totally dressed as a Jedi, right? And Grim was dressed as that would have been so cool. That would have been amazing. But that's a highlight too. Everybody coming to the wedding.
That was the highlight.
That
we had not only Star Wars but Star Trek people there, of course, because there's the dissenters.
Those are your
had to break it up. Some of
we had so many XJL members. It was so we had. I remember. I loved the fact that Jet and her husband were there.
I love Jet.
I love Jet. Yeah, she's so awesome, and so yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys, I am looking on our. I'm not cutting you off, Bug. If you have more, but I just
do have more. But
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get to those, and we'll get to because I wanted to ask the people in the chat room. What were your highlights? And I see that there is one coming up in January. It'll be 10 years that Dark Defender's has been in RLSH, wow. Which is the same amount of years for the Justice Alliance Initiative. So it'll be a 10-year anniversary for them.
Nice.
That's a long time, dude. See, that's let's see. Oh, and an update on Dark Defender's highlights. Dark Defender recently took 2 courses in TN opioid overdose reversal, suicide prevention, and going to a training in October for instructor for suicide prevention to conduct his own class. What? That's awesome.
That's great, man.
That's amazing, dude. See, we love highlights.
Thing to have under your belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, suicide prevention. Wow. That's just one of the hardest things in the world. Woo. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So go ahead and your list. Because I want to hear impacts too.
Okay. So let's see. Did you already talk about the other? So we talked about. Well, the Hope events are kind of always on the board for best memory.
Always, yeah.
But when are the next ones coming out?
There was supposed to be one this Saturday, guys, and we're so sad that it's because that COVID made this, but they did the right thing. They're so smart on going, no, that's not.
They tried to make it happen, but because of COVID, they canceled. They waited to the last minute that they could.
Yeah. And I respect them for that.
We want everyone to be alive. So
yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine somebody getting it even if they're vaccinated and getting serious?
Yes.
You've had it, so you know what it does. Yeah.
I know people that have gotten sick despite being vaccinated.
Yeah, see.
It's very easy.
And it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, the Hope events you were saying, and
The Hope event, particularly Hope 2012, which was the karaoke year.
that's what we got to do. Impact. We've never done that together. We have
Man,
never done the
okay,
karaoke thing.
Urban
Just
Avenger
come visit.
and
We'll play
and
karaoke here. It's fine.
Urban Avenger and Moon Knight destroying
Urban Avenger and Moon Knight.
and karaoke, not together but separately. And even what's her name?
Night
Nadia?
Owl.
Night Owl.
Nadia Fazani.
Nadia
I'll cut my pinky toe off if Urban Avenger shows up.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, he's
Moon Knight
That was
sang "Gay
back in
Bar"
the day.
to Urban Avenger.
Oh, I tried to get him to show up when I showed up to the San Diego one. Like,
Man,
Hey, anybody who wants to
Urban Avenger, if you show up to Hope, you have open invitation to punch me in the fucking face.
wow, you're not gonna punch him. I won't let you.
No. If he shows up, he can punch me.
Oh, okay.
I will
get it.
bet $500 I'm not going to get punched.
I won't take that bet because I will, because you'll win.
Bring it.
no one wants to see you get punched.
You will win. You will totally win. By the way, if you can answer this, what was the question? That I thought of one question today, Bug. Remember, and I said,
oh,
wait,
who calls themselves? And this is a
no. Let's
there was another one.
There's another one. Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Do
save
the
that
other
one.
one instead. Yeah.
I don't remember what the other one was.
Oh, okay.
I only remember that one.
Ask a question for somebody, and anybody who answers it, Impact, gets a copy of this sent to them. We have several. Something that RLSH who pay attention would know. What's a good one? Let's see. I know.
What do you got?
What city does Citizen Dusk live in? First person
Who's
to
Citizen
answer.
Dusk?
Who is Citizen Dusk?
Dusk Citizen.
Dusk Citizen. Sorry.
Dusk
See, I'm
Citizen.
still listening. I'm still
that's
listening to the
different.
cartoon.
I was going to say...
I got more. So if you got...
Oh, no. Let's hear it.
I got plenty of... No. I mean, I got more books. So what's another one? Yeah. Barry Vale's got it. Now, if you want to message us, you got this one's yours. You answered. All right.
What year did the Extreme Justice League include members like Knight and Nightingale?
Ooh.
This is for another copy. We've got...
Maribel says, give it to someone else.
Oh.
I don't know what Beardell's answer is.
I think I know which year that was.
I want to say 20. I have a copy of the book, but I'm not going to answer.
Think it's...
I want to hear your answers later.
Okay. I'll tell you in private. In fact,
At least I think I know the answer. I
think...
No checking the wiki.
The
Oh, I'm not checking the wiki.
No, I'm telling anyone watching.
Oh, yeah, you guys.
Don't cheat and check the wiki. There is no wiki.
Yeah. Speaking of books, real quick, we want to do this. So there are several people who have written books for the real life superheroes. This one is by Nadia Fazani.
Oh yeah.
You see her name?
I've looked at that one.
Unfortunately, it has Booster Gold on the cover.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. How's that? But it's got
That's why I haven't bought it yet.
It's got a ton of real life superheroes in there. This one's signed. You can't have it.
Is that the French copy? That's the French copy.
No. This is the French. Okay. We're in this one. Yay. Actually, we're in this one too. There's also, we don't have it because it's at the shop, is Peter Nowak also wrote the most one. He impacts in that one. In the most recent, that's the most recent one. And that's called The Rise of Superheroes and the Fall of Everything Else by Peter N.O.W. We'll put links up when we can on our YouTube channel. This dork wrote one, but I didn't write this alone. I wrote this, and you know why this one is precious to me now? because I know, shut up, because you guys all gave me, I questioned so many RLSH, including Superhero. Superhero has stuff that he put in here too. So for me, it's precious because of that. Heroes in the Night, of course, by TEA Krulos, Krulos. And this one is not a book about superheroes, but it is written by a real life superhero. It's his second book. This is my second book, by the way. This is his second book, and his name is Tree Song. And it is really, it's fiction, but it's amazing. And it's about, like it says, an American climate refugee. So the stuff in there, Tree Song, is all about climate change in protecting us from ourselves. So this one's great. Goodbye Miami by Tree Song. So really good one.
But wait, Rock, you said that book was your second book? What was your first book?
The other book. You know what? I have another book. If anybody really wants to know what the other book is, I think
yes.
Okay, hang on,
yes.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. All right.
Yes.
Talk amongst yourselves.
She likes to pretend this book doesn't exist, but it's an entertaining book. It's based in reality, but it's not. But the cover's cute.
I'm very excited to find out what this is.
What'd you say?
I'm excited to find out what this book is.
Oh.
What kind of mad shit are you talking now? Okay, but this one
I want to know what your book is, Rock.
It's right here. I'm trying to hide my real name, though. You know what? Actually, I don't give a shit if you know what my real name is. This is not the house you want to come after. This is not the family you want to come after. There is my first book. It's called Bounce. It says, based on the true stories of a bouncer mom. I spent a couple of years as
it up on my phone right now.
I spent a couple of years as a assistant head of security at San Francisco's most famous and one of its oldest nightclubs, the End Up. And this is stories from that. It's a story with mini stories. But anyway, what is the original name of Heroes 101?
I just answered him. It's Heroes 101. Oh, no.
No, that wasn't it.
You're right. Is that a question that you're asking people?
That's a good one. Anybody wants a copy of one of these books that aren't signed? The ones that
I know.
So long, I forgot about it.
I know.
We didn't used to always be called Heroes 101 Radio. We were radio prior to just being Heroes 101.
All right.
We're not radio anymore.
We're not. See, so so Impact knows. But yeah, so anyway, Bug, you weren't done, but I want to hear some impacts too. So both of you. We got a little bit more time. Yeah. And then if anybody else wants to share theirs, hey, Discordia, Berryville, Brennan, you guys, DB Defender shared some. Give us some of your guys's. That's just wow. Y'all's highlights. You can give us some highlights. Like, when was the first time that you patrolled, or when did you really feel like, wow, I'm really doing this. This is crazy. And for me, I don't think it was when you had your costume together. I think it's when you actually were out there in the cold going, I could get hurt. Then it was there. There you go. Yours is such a practical costume. If I should have something like that, because then you can wear it with anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
Just put it around and that's it.
Yes, practical. That's legitimately why I came up with the costume.
Did you see Bug's first costume? The very first one he had? He had the prototype that most real life superheroes do.
Yeah. It's a hoodie ninja.
Hoodie and goggles.
Yeah, I had a bandana, and I was like, oh, and they covered my... Well, I have a scar on my face.
Because you're Harry Potter.
I have a blatant scar on my face, so I have the top half, and I had goggles to cover over my eyes to cover where the scar is.
Mm-hmm.
And this was my original costume, and then I had a bandana over here, so it was a full Spider-Man gimmick. Essentially.
I love it.
And I realized that I didn't like the full thing, so I went to top and the goggles. And then I had a friend who could make the eye patch part. because the goggles were not easy to see with.
Nah.
Because even though they're the pinholes, when I see a light, it like shines over the eyes, so it still blinds me a little bit. So
Yeah.
Goggles are a nice idea, but
which is why the ones that I wear currently with these are the OG goggles. The ones I wear now are actually clear. Like, so like if you throw something in them, like they're gonna protect my eyes, but they're clear.
Well, people can see your eyes. That's important.
And the other ones I have are polarized lenses, because I'd go on patrol and have these on, look up in the sun, I get blinded because it was hitting me in the face. And I'm like, these goggles are shit. So I started wearing polarized glasses with my goggles.
Somebody said it's very important that we, as real life superheroes, are able to show our eyes because we become human instead of just a walking pair of sunglasses or
even having just the mouth helps.
Yeah, just the mouth. You know what I mean?
Because for a long time I had the goggles cover my eyes, but the mouth helped. One or the other, at least. You want half your face showing. You want half your face showing. This is one half. This is the other half. If you can get them both, it's awesome. I prefer to. That's why I wear my goggles on my forehead most of the time. Like, I don't wear them over my eyes most of the time because people do like to see your face.
Yeah, they do. They definitely want to see. There's some sincerity that doesn't convey under obviously this.
Your eyes really do convey a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Your mouth helps. So if you get the chance, like, don't wear your Spider-Man mask. I know a lot of us have them. I know a lot of us like them. If you want to wear one, make your eyes visible, make your mouth, make something visible. Make something on your face visible because it helps. I'm serious. It does.
I still have not caved into peer pressure.
What?
I still haven't caved into peer pressure.
Yeah, that's because you're a piece of shit. No.
That's right. I tried. It just looks funny. Like I take the mask, the under mask off, and there's
your mask is special. Your mask is special.
Because I'm special.
Oh
your mask is special. Get a half face. Look at this gorgeous thing. Get a half face mask like this.
Slow motion. Whipping it behind you.
You can even have goggles and cover half your face.
Oh my god.
It's glorious.
All right, goobers. How about back to those?
That's why I did it. No, but like legit. That's why I did this mask.
Seriously though.
It's because it is less off-putting for people.
It is.
And when you're not trying to help the populace, you're not trying to be off-putting.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to be off-putting. You want to be inviting. You want to be friendly, and your eyes. You know that saying, the eye is the window to the soul.
Yeah.
Your eyes are the goddamn window to the soul. Like,
fine. There.
Even if you wear a pair of glasses over them, like, some level of availability helps.
Right. Exactly. But can you do this?
I could do it.
You got to do that to your cute little nephew now.
Whoa!
You guys are gonna steal that. You owe me $0.25 every time you do it.
Oh my god!
Every time. All right, Bud, can you grab some of the comments in there? I just took off my glasses now, and
you were asking for other people's highlights.
Yeah.
Eris Diva says, I don't remember much from before my remake in 2015, but I do have to say this was one of the very few things I vibed with that people told me I was.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's good.
Yeah.
Eris is one of the best people I know.
She's come back from a lot of nasty stuff.
Yeah. I've gotten lucky to hang out with them on a lot of occasions, and they're awesome and worth hanging out with.
See, that's why it's awesome to go to those meetups, because then you get to connect. You connect with these awesome people.
Right. Brennan says, I think the first time I peeled a man off a young woman in a public park, that was the spark for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Oh, he continued just now saying there was an incident in which a car hit the shoulder and planted itself in a rock face, in which we pulled over and called it in. Checked the patient for obvious wounds, all that. I was told about it years later by the other occupants of my vehicle, but with the leading line, remember that time you helped at a winter car crash and put your long coat over the victim?
Oh,
Jesus.
Nice.
oh, see. So yeah, these things keep us in there. You know what? We need to start sharing highlights more because this stuff gets. Bug and I are a little long in the tooth in this game, just like everybody else who's put a decade or more in there, and it's hard to stay motivated. It really is. It gets really hard. I mean, we're trying to do things once a week. It's down to once a month now. But there was a point where just before COVID, we were doing something every single week. And Impact, it wears you down. Besides trying to have your job and your family.
It does.
Oh, man. And then you get burnout. So just reading these highlights has really helped right now, because I'm telling you, there are times when I didn't want to stay doing this anymore because you have a finite amount of energy.
Yeah.
And if a ton of it's going to this crap, when I say crap, I mean when it goes sour, when they're infighting with people. Thank goodness. Have you noticed? I got to point that out. One thing I've noticed is, I think it was a year ago that we all came together over some jagweed. I'm not going to bring up their name. Trying to proclaim all this shit about themselves and about the real life superhero movement. And we haven't really had to deal with that in a while.
It's been a lot less, I think.
Yeah.
I think we went through some rough shit with some friends.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of got together and went, no, we're not dealing with this anymore. And the jagweeds got sent out. We kicked them out.
Yep.
As we
definitely. As we should have a long time ago. Hey, Purple Lotus, one of the highlights I had.
Kind of stuck with the good stuff.
Exactly. I got to tell you, Purple Lotus was just saying, got to go to sleep. Good to see y'all. I got to tell you,
Lotus.
Purple
I
Lotus.
got to hang out with him right before COVID hit.
That was one of our highlights, I have to say, when we met at that comic book store.
Oh,
and I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole for not having put up that episode. I still got them. I'm just going to put them up. I don't care how old they are. Just freaking put them up. Got a to-do list now. Yeah. So, because Purple Lotus is amazing. So
it sounds like Good Samaritan. I always said that.
What? Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, he does that all the time.
Do it.
Yeah,
I can see the one we like saying now is Gus from Breaking Bad. Do it.
Yeah.
No, Goody likes to mock Palpatine. Goody likes to be Palpatine. Go.
Oh yeah.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Well, guys, we have talked our asses off. We have like 8 minutes.
It's
Bug, are you done with your list?
By the way, I just wanted to point out, during your 10-year anniversary, technically, I have some level of initiation with
Oh yes,
I still have you burned out a block of wood with the initiative. I still have that as one of the very first things you gave me when we met.
Yep.
So
technically, I'm at least associated with the initiative.
You are
the convention initiative.
That was a good idea. It just we couldn't get enough real life superheroes. They couldn't afford to go to the convention.
That's
sad.
That's how we became friends. Was
that
interview?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I want to bring that up on your 10-year anniversary show.
Yay! Oh, speaking of Tanya, by the way, you are part of the initiative. You are.
And you're stuck with me.
Bruh.
Orbiting the initiative.
We've been part of the XJL too so the initiative, the XJL have like family ties now. So do you see that? Oh. Sorry, look, we get all dorky. There you go, guys.
You're running out of corridor.
So I just wanted that to be known before we left tonight.
I
still
love that you have that. I still have mine. Those are cool colors too, huh?
I love it.
Hi everybody, look, I'm here for you. Real quick, the idea behind that, we wanted to make sure that someone was patrolling the conventions because there was a lot of that sexual harassment going on.
There was the whole cosplay is not
Gamergate
equal
thing,
consent type of
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
we were
it was-
out there.
it-
A lot of stuff
It was
going
a good
on
idea, and
outside
I
of the
love
cons
it.
too.
and I still stand by the idea behind it. It just
Oh, see. Oh, sorry. I was reading what Tanya wrote while you were talking, and
what you say?
she said the very first time I met you guys in person, it was at my first homeless outreach in Civic Center in San Francisco. Met a lot of great people, and remember this guy coming up to us and thanking us because he had just gotten the United States, and having clothes and food given to him was something he would never forget.
That's awesome.
See, there it is. There it is. That is a highlight too for me. Thank you, Tanya, because we're talking about how it just feels like you just did a Band-Aid and that's it. It's just a little tiny Band-Aid. But that Band-Aid, that dude's going to remember that.
Yeah,
You
that's awesome.
Wounds need
Aw.
Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Wounds need Band-Aids.
Look at you.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, not put a
Wounds need
Band-Aid on a
Band-Aid.
wound just because, like, well, I'm just going to get another one.
That's a good little
I'm not going to
line
clean
there.
this because you guys are just going to get it dirty in an hour.
So yeah,
It's the same thing.
Thank you for sharing that, Tanya. The Superheroines Initiative is a shit. We're just telling them, Tanya, our Texas branch leader. Woo! But Tanya just had a newborn, so Tanya gets a little time.
Tanya's awesome. She's the
Tanya's
best.
awesome. Tanya needs to get that. Besides, Tanya just moved there and then had the baby, and then so it's like time to chill a little. So I realize that this goes on YouTube. I keep forgetting because I keep thinking it's only our friends on Facebook that see this, but it's people from YouTube who ask us things like, we forget they have no idea what we're talking about or what the hell we're doing out there in masks. And I think it'd be really fun at some point to have one of these where we are wearing our masks like Impact does, but we're full geared, and then we invite other RLSH to call in if they can, because then they can put them, if they go on with their computers, you guys can have a space. We can hold hella people on this screen. Come on with your mask and explain the name of who you are and your mission. We're going to give you a chance to introduce yourselves. And that way the people on YouTube are like, what the hell? Who are all these fools? Sell your own mission to somebody who may, be looking for a purpose too. Because honestly, one thing I can't say in 10 years, and Bug hears me bitch about it constantly. Like, why am I still doing this? This is such a, it's a time suck. It's this and that. But I'll be honest.
You've been doing it since you were a kid.
Really? Our family's always been doing this stuff. But I met my best friend in the world through the RLSH. I met my little sister Tanya through the RLSH. I met my bud forever Impact through this stuff. So it's like, this is my family that I'd rather talk to half the time than some members of my other family. So yeah, let's do that. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say let's do that in 2 weeks, Impact. We'll set the date. We'll set the time because people already are asking. Brendan's saying I'm game. Discordia is saying I'm game for the masks and come on there and
sure.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. What is 2 weeks? It's not Bug's birthday. By the way, you guys, Bug's birthday is on the 17th. Mine was on the 4th. And then our kids is on the 30th. We got
Virgo power.
Happy birthday to you.
Heck you, Virgo. And happy birthday tonight to Jason Gowan. It's Jason Gowan's birthday. So so Jason Gowan. Hope you're having a wonderful birthday night. Have a great birth week. And I hope this year is like full of love, full of laughter for you because you're amazing. Your family's amazing. So yeah. So yeah, yay. So yeah, God, you guys just gave me like a recharge. I needed it. I really needed it. So yeah, right. Okay,
achievement unlocked.
We got 2 minutes left. We've rolled through this, and I'm tired. I didn't get any sleep last night. See bags.
Well, you know what? I'll do the last of my list real quick then.
Yes.
So the first needle pickup we had with Old School, which was not when we added him to the team, but our first needle pickup was great because we were like, oh, maybe we'll pick up 100 of these things by the end of the year, and we were all over 1,000 by the end of the year. That
Yeah, we
guy's
thought
awesome.
we literally thought we would only pick up 100 that year. We're like, maybe we'll hit 100. I don't know.
No way. Yeah, that guy. We don't have to talk to him for months, and we'll know he's still out there doing his thing. He picking up needles at minimum, but always doing something for the community. He runs a food bank. The best and grossest jokes ever come out of him.
Yeah. Oh God, they're horrid.
We love him.
Yeah.
Hope 2013 and the Anisha crib. I don't even know if you brought that up or not. We basically took over Hope. I mean, not literally, but there were so many initiative people in 2013.
I think
We
that
had
was
to rent a
there were
house.
19 people, and
19
we had to
people from
rent.
all
We had
over.
to rent a 6-bedroom house. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, all staying in the same house, working, putting PB&J and burritos together. That was good times.
The testosterone that flowed in that house.
They started
like, y'all are
sparring
stupid.
instantly. They all went in the backyard and started sparring.
They're
Z
stupid.
and
Big surprise.
Of course, right? Of course. You're like, God.
Big surprise.
But it was good times. Running into Adam Savage at Pride 2015.
Oh, with his mom, Adam Savage.
And it was his mom's birthday.
They were just walking down the street, and they stopped, and they, gave us hugs and took pictures.
Adam Savage. Adam!
That's Adam Savage!
Yeah. Got him to turn around and take a picture. That was good.
Awesome.
And the last thing on my list was when we added Shadarka to the team in 2017.
I swear to God.
That guy.
We love that guy so much that the last time, like just this weekend when we did our needle outreach, and it's like he walked to the bathroom and Crimson Fist and I are standing there. I'm like almost crying. I'm like, Crimson, I love that guy, and we're losing him at the end of the year. He's moving. He's such a kind, wonderful, funny, amazing person. And New Hampshire, you lucky bastard, getting our Shadarko from us. So yeah. Those are wonderful. Thank you, Bug, for sharing. Oh wow, we're over the time. What happens? Does it end when we end it, or does it end on?
Good night, everybody.
I think we just end it when we want.
Yeah. Heel hooks and literally walking off. Yes, it is. I'm starving. I'm gonna go eat. Impact. I'll just call you tomorrow. We usually talk after the show.
Yeah,
but I am so hungry. We'll talk tomorrow. I know you're tired. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for sharing your stuff. Do it. So 2 weeks. Be prepared to get your masks on, and if you want to back up and show your whole, thing, like, oh, look at my butt. You can do that because it'll show on your.
Fine.
So there you go. All right, here we go. Touch the butt. So we'll do that 2 weeks. We'll post it. In fact, we'll just post it up tonight. What the hell? Why not? Love you guys. Love you too, Tony. Thank you guys so much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I can do this.